Shift-Delete, content aware, and you want just the wall, right? But this is a pretty big area there. I wonder how Photoshop is going to fill that with pieces of wall. Yeah, I don't think it will work. No. So now we have the texture you wanted, right? Okay. Yeah. Let me show you one last example. Okay, this is a typical image where this electrical wire is in the way, and I don't want it there. I want to get rid of that wire. So in the past, I would have probably used here in my the spot healing brush, or the healing brush tool, or even the patch tool to get rid of that wire. What I will do now is actually use the spot healing brush, but with, instead of a texture or a color, just with content aware, okay? So the first thing I will do, I will press R just to move the canvas around a little bit to be able to draw on it in a natural manner. Let's take my spot healing brush, and now I will go with my tablet here and go, let's try it. I can make it. Yes! Yeah. And now Photoshop is thinking about it. Oh. Imagery. I mean, I can, you know, it's pretty crazy. All right, fine. And let me just draw something very simple here. Let's make it a black thing and with no fill, with no stroke. And let me make some ellipses here, something like this. And I will make a Mickey Mouse kind of thing, right? Something like that. And to put all of these lines together, obviously, what you needed to do in the past, let me just color them so that we see them. Something like that, is to go to the Pathfinder and unite them all together. Okay? Pathfinder, this one. Window, Pathfinder, select the objects, go here. No more, because now what I can do is use this new tool here, which is called the Shape Builder tool. So all I need to do really is to select the Shape Builder tool, quickly select my object, and paint over it. I'll do it slowly just another time, okay? So, you see, I have my Shape Builder tool here. I can actually also change the preferences of the tool, and then I go click and I drag a line, and this is now everything that's in that selection goes on my shape. Now, let's do another thing here. Let's say I want holes in here, so the eyes. So what I would do is something like that, maybe. Let's do like this, okay? And then I would select everything again, use the Shape Builder tool, and by pressing down Alt, I can now also remove things. Okay, and this is now a hole. Okay, you can see that this is actually transparent. Okay, so it has become much easier to actually create objects. But as I'm drawing, this is already in perspective. And then I can move that in perspective. I put it here, press up a little bit, it sticks to the grid. And then I press the Alt key, I press the 2 key, and I create a copy here. Okay? And I press the Alt key again, let's press the 3 key and put it here, and I'm done already. Okay? So it's become very easy to actually draw in perspective. Let me show you a couple of other things here. Let's select all, delete that, and choose another perspective grid. For example, a 2-point perspective. Okay, again, I could decide exactly how that 2-point perspective should actually work. And let's put some text. Like, this is the second time I'm here, you know? So, let's do the font of that. Maybe something gold. Let's see what I have here. Impact. Let's make that slightly bigger, something like that. And then I take my perspective selection tool here, and as soon as I start driving this, it starts moving in perspective. Let's press 1 to put it on this field here. Okay, just make it bigger. Okay, and now I have my text in perspective. Okay? Now, those of you who are paying attention to this actually notice that now we have all these points. So you're telling me, that the text is now vectorized and I cannot change it. I know the question coming. Hold on. What did I do now? No. Let's go back to my page. Here we go. That is not the case, because if I double click on it, I go into isolation mode and I can of course change the text. Okay? So, perspective grid. Another famous tool is in Illustrator CS5.
Allows you to draw into perspective mode. Okay? Of course, Photoshop allows you to create 3D objects. In Photoshop CS4, we introduced 3D elements, so it allows you to import 3D objects from 3D tools like, what was it, 3D Studio Max and some more. But now you can create your own thing. So let's move on to my artwork here. And I just have some kind of text here. And I wanted to create a 3D object of that text. So all I need to do is select my layer, and I switch to my 3D workspace here. Go from design mode to the 3D workspace, and here you see a new thing called Rufus. And I can create a new 3D Rufus object from my text. Just click to create, yes. And now I got a new dialog which allows me to select multiple Rufus shape presets. So you can now see that my text is in 3D. I can just rotate that. And you can even import that into After Effects to make some kind of 3D animation. But you can see that you have different shape presets. So I can select different shape presets right there. If I want, I can make things like that here to make a little bend. As you can now see, it bends here. You can have some cool stuff like that. Oh, it's fantastic. That's more natural shape presets. But I mean, a lot of things can happen with the Rufus shape presets here. Let's move back to the simple preset here, and let's change the values here. I want to increase the depth a little bit, so just make it a little bit deeper. Change the scale of the object. You can even twist it if you want. Oops. Like that, you can scale or twist it. You can shear objects or bend objects, so a lot of options right there within the extrude thing. So let's move back to 0 and there. 1. Of course, you can say what kind of size you want to change, or you can bevel objects right there. So I can select the front side. I want to bevel the front side and bevel that a little bit. Change different contours, change the width here of my bevel, and you can see the bevel edges right there. So just create on the top, I bevel the edges a little bit. And it gives me full control over my 3D object. Of course, you can select multiple colors on that. So on the front side, I want a different color than on the back side. And I can load textures if I want. So Rufus gives you really great control over 3D objects right within Photoshop. And you have new things, as you can see here on the left side. It is a 3D object. If I go back to my layers panel and go into the background, and this is just rendered in the background. But of course, you can import your 3D object, and you can change shadows and ray trace options and all that stuff. But there's one more thing in Photoshop I want to show you, and this is the puppet warp tool from After Effects right within Photoshop. So I just select this small guy here. I go back to my Essentials view, and you can see it's split on 2 different layers. So I have the elephant on a special layer. And I just want to print what?
I think you fill the layer in the back.
You know, there's a new feature called Content Aware Fill. Yeah, Content Aware Fill, very cool. And it just allows me to fill in, some of these grass elements in the background. So just easy to use that. But I just want to bend the, what is the whistle in English? Wow. How would you call that? The nose of an elephant? What's it? Thank you. So, sorry, I didn't get it. But I use my puppet warp tool, and with that I can just click some points here on my elephant. And now look what happens right now if I change that. Isn't that amazing?